We just watched season 2, episode 19 of Gilmore Girls. We have some thoughts. This was my 157th time watching. This is Carrie's first time. She doesn't even know the title. Hi, I'm Chemda.
I'm Carrie, and this is Gilmore Friends. Welcome. I've never seen Gilmore Girls before. First time watching, and I'm being kept spoiler-free. And I have thoughts about this episode. Do you want to give me the title?
This is a big episode. It's called Teach Me Tonight.
I'm sorry, say again?
Teach Me Tonight.
Teach Me Tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a big episode. I think a lot of things happened. And when you hear, this is my first time paying attention to what it's named, but if I saw the title Teach Me Tonight, I'm like, oh, it's the Jess tutoring episode.
Yeah.
And it's talked about a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah. I want to get into our alternate titles, but first I want to remind people to subscribe wherever you are listening. There is a subscribe button somewhere on that place, and you should make sure that you press that button. It helps us. It helps you. Everyone wins.
And, okay, so for every episode, we have alternative titles, which I love. You want to go first?
Yes, I would have called this episode The Mess with Jess.
Oh, cute. Okay,
that's what I would have called it. What would you have called it?
Okay, so I have 3, but that doesn't mean I'm like excited about all 3 of them. This is just sort of like squeezing every drop of lemon juice out of the lemon. Like, so any idea I had, I tell you. I thought When Dean's Away.
I thought about something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The Yearling, because it was like just said so much.
Yes.
I actually had to look up what The Yearling was about. Do you know?
I have no idea. I was hoping you would tell me.
It's about a girl who adopts an orphaned fawn named Flag.
Oh my God.
It's very much like a rated G sounding. Like, I didn't watch it or anything, but anyway. Or I would have called it, this last one, Right Turn.
Oh yeah, that's the pivotal moment.
Yeah, I kind of like, the whole right turn thing. And I like that you were like, ooh.
Yep, because that's it. Choices are made. That you got to make choices. Everyone makes choices, and this was the one we made.
And I love how this show depicts, like, you know, because people always are talking about how their teenagers suddenly turned, and they made like the physical version of this, right?
Yes,
like
they drove that metaphor pretty hard into
right.
Yes, it was not subtle. They were making a choice. Yeah.
And it all starts with us needing to know that Dean is away. Poor Dean.
Yes.
Every episode in the last few episodes should be called Poor Dean, whether he's on screen or not.
The hits keep coming for this poor kid.
That's true.
The first line of the episode is Dean is away, and Marty is the new guy, the new bagger, and Lorelai is being, snotty, and she's like, oh, he's going to take his job. Look, he's flipping the cans. He's being very kooky.
I think with that, it's like Lorelai writes a script of like, let's play make-believe while we're waiting in line. Because, so sometimes I want to say like, oh, she's being so obnoxious. But I think that's just not always my form of entertainment. Like, that's kind of like, we went to school with a lot of creatives, you very much. And so that's like, if you're a singer, you have to like sing your homework to the class and stuff. And it's like, we get it. You sing nice, but like, we don't always want to hear your art at any time that you want.
Right.
That's how I feel sometimes about Lorelai's.
Yeah, she's got not a heavy filter.
Let me buy a ticket to your show sometimes.
Right, exactly. So she's riffing, and we find out that it is movie night. I misheard him? When movie night is not tonight, it's Thursday.
No.
Okay,
it's coming. I don't remember.
Okay, somehow I put it in my head that it was tonight, movie night. But it is.
No, I think Lorelai was like, let's have a movie night tonight to find out, like, like she's taking her homework home with her. Like, let's have a movie night. Let's go to movies. To Rory, not that it's happening tonight.
Okay. Phew.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow, he didn't give her that binder till the afternoon. So that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a reference to a take a penny, give a penny, take a penny, which we don't have anymore. We're done with pennies.
Well, what's funny is that we still have a sign for penny stuff, but now it's, hey, no more pennies. Don't take one. Don't give one. We're rounding up. The end.
Yep, that's it.
So
And
we
if you
still have
notice that
penny
we're rounding
signs.
up and not down, that's we're going to ignore you. We're going to act like we have no idea what you're talking about when you have rounded
We're
up.
also we're gonna shame you for not having read the sign when it first went up. We're gonna shame you when you gave a look of like, so you're rounding up, huh? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And we're also going to say things like, why are you even using cash? Like, what happened in your life that you're not only using cash, but you want the correct change in pennies? No. That is the shame that we acknowledge.
So 25 years later, that's where we are with pennies. I wouldn't think this is the major changes that we needed to find in our pop culture.
No, this movie is way outdated. They're talking about penny coins, not virtual money that we pay with our phones now. It's like, don't.
I also love that this is a ticketed event in Stars Hollow. LOL. Like, where are you taking tickets from? And how is the whole town not watching from the balcony? Get out of here. Your town is about 2 square feet.
Like, I've been to a ton of
tickets?
Like movie nights. Like, I mean, Queens, Bryant Park, like around New York City, there's lots of like free movie nights. They never ever take tickets. And that's New York City. How is Stars Hollow taking tickets? It's ridiculous.
No, in fact, we're charging the city to put it on because you're not taking tickets and it's a noise situation. So you're lucky you could put on a movie in public. So, but yet they're taking tickets. I think just to say that Lorelai has never helped take tickets. Meanwhile, in every other episode, we hear about how much Lorelai sews all the outfits and like is so involved.
And never forget that the rummage sale took place inside her house.
Right.
The clothing swap or whatever that was. And everyone was like, drop off your garbage at Lorelai's house. I think she gets 1 million I help out the town points for that.
Right.
So he got nothing to say about you never help out, you never take tickets, you never plan the movie, whatever.
Yeah. I do love that, like, okay, when she was like, oh, I can't believe it's the Yearling again, and he goes, all right, you pick the movie. The first time I saw that, I was like, no way. And just the fact that it's such a cool thing for him to do in a way, I was like, what's the catch? Like, we're going to have to catch something. And so I'm just like arms open, ready to catch it the rest of the episode. So when he drops the folder, I'm like, okay, I can't keep waiting for the catch.
Yeah, no, the folder, I mean, the binder is the catch, that it has to be certain numbers that they've already licensed to play, And
for the first time, I'm on Taylor Doosey's side. And for the first time, I think all of his snide everything is absolutely warranted. Enjoy yourself and stop complaining.
Yeah.
Like that it's very weird to take Taylor Doosey's side.
What movie would you have picked?
Apparently the Yearling, because I wrote some of the movies when we get to it. Like I wrote some of them down. It's what are we watching? But no, I wouldn't have picked the Yearling because it's like, if we're allowed to watch everything, no, who am I?
I mean, I want to know what's in the binder. Like, I would go through the binder and find a different movie. Playing the same movie every year is insane.
I agree, but the movies that they were talking about, you can't play in the middle of town square because it has to not have violence. It has to not have, heavy romance. It has to be Bambi. It has to be something that's rated G. What's lower than G?
I mean, staring at a wall.
Yeah, okay, fair. Here's some of the movies. Arctic Flight. There was something called Killer Shark that has good scene of catching and cleaning shark. Okay, maybe I'd pick that one. Where Are Your Children is one of them. Sudden Danger. Mom dies of gas asphyxiation. Son blamed. Good kiss scene. Suspense. These movies sound nerve-wracking. to
Yeah.
watch.
No, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
picked any of those. Those sound terrible. And also, if
Yeah.
there's a good kissing scene, that means you can have kissing in a movie, which means you can, then it opens up. I mean, I would
I mean,
try.
there's kissing in Disney movies, so there's
Yeah,
death in
exactly.
Disney movies, so yeah.
As long as it's straight people, what's the problem? You know?
Yeah. But Taylor's like, if you can't participate with a smile and a hug, don't participate.
Yeah. What? Who's hugging at movie time?
I
I'm
don't
always
know.
amazed on television how much people are able to do before school starts. This
Yeah.
whole scene, this entire interaction, we get back to the house, to the Gilmore Girls' house, and they are getting ready for school. She's putting on her uniform. It's 6:45.
Mm-hmm.
The phone rings. It's Chris. This is all before school. When I was in high school, there was no before school. There was wake
No.
up and go to school. I don't
Yeah.
understand how people
There's
have like
run.
an
Yeah.
entire day of activities and then they're like, "Oh, time to get ready for school. It's 6:45."
Not only
Oh,
that, like so there's a discrepancy in a way that people have found. Like he calls at 6:45, so that is his regular time, but he has to get off the phone and he says, add 40 minutes to my next time, meaning they talk from 6:45 to 7:30. But she gets off the phone and then says, I gotta go, I'm gonna be late for school.
yeah. So
But you were just gonna be on the phone
you
for
were
45
you had planned to
minutes.
be on the phone for 40 minutes with your dad who calls at 6:45 in the morning. No.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
And then we find out that they're still feeling icky. Lorelai and Chris are still feeling icky from their last interaction, where she was like, "I was gonna win, yeah," and that was like many episodes ago.
it was. I had to remember what they were in a fight about and that they were even in a
Yeah, you
fight.
reminded me. I was like, "Ugh, whatever."
Yeah. Yeah, because it
Um,
took me a minute. Ugh, but every time Chris is there, aren't you just a little gaggy?
yeah, it's boring. I don't like the Chris side plot. I don't know. I find Chris annoying. Definitely.
Yeah.
I hope they don't put them back together at some point. They might, just because like we haven't. The only reason they're not together is because Chris is with someone else, and that can change. So it's possible they get back together at some point in the series. I hope not.
And
Hope
he
I'm
was
wrong.
evasive about Sherry in this episode. Did you catch
Yes,
that?
yes, I did. And
Yeah.
how's Sherry? Oh, looking forward. Like he changes the subject. He is a little evasive. So I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God, did they break up? And then Lorelai gets to be psyched again. I don't know.
She's psyched that he's even there. And it's like she's I get it
The way
because
he shows up later in the episode is very creepy to me. We'll get there.
oh my okay, thank you. Yes, let's get there.
It's
First,
terrifying. So, but we have a very rare shot of Lane in school. Lane is in a
mm-hmm.
classroom and she is taking a test. And Jess walks in and like bugs her about needing a pencil or a pen. And she
Mm-hmm.
finally gives him a pen, and it's because he wants to write in the margins of Slaughterhouse-Five. So weird.
Right.
He
Which
can't.
also he continues to treat the people that Rory, like everybody gets it but Rory, but he continues to treat the people that Rory really loves and like are the biggest part of her life. He treats them totally like garbage, completely disregarding anything and actively trying to annoy them.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It's so weird. It's so he didn't even need to come into the classroom.
Yeah, he actively
He
is
sought
like
out distracting Lane from taking a test. He could have gotten a
exactly.
pen literally anywhere in the school. He
Mhm.
chose to come into a class, distract Lane while taking a test, and bother her? For what?
Mhm.
So weird. What a choice.
Unfortunately, this was considered charisma.
Right.
And it was, and this is the guy that a lot of us would go for because for some reason it's cute. And now I can't even imagine how other guys must have felt going like, so you're attracted to this while I'm over here handing in my homework. Cool for me.
Yeah.
Oh, goody. But it's the same as like maybe what other people thought. Like, so she just said the dumbest thing, but because you find her attractive. You think
Right. She's
she
hot.
said something smart.
She's hot, so she thinks
Interesting.
taking tests
Yeah.
is stupid. Yeah.
It's very
I
interesting.
mean, charisma goes a long way, especially when you're an idiot, and you're an idiot based entirely on being 16, 17. So, you don't make good choices.
Charisma is a form of sale. It's
Yeah.
like salesmanship. It's just you're selling who you are, and now people want to be around you, which is
That's right.
very, yeah.
And
so he's got that.
Yeah, but he's still annoying Lane. I don't know. Like,
I know.
there's
And
no. It's
I'm
so
like,
unnecessary.
No, anybody but Lane. Lane.
I know, but I think we're setting up that like Jess is in school but not doing school.
Right.
Like
yeah.
he's in school but he's not.
As the principal said, no homework, no class participation, attendance erratic at best, attitudes towards teachers ranging from indifferent to hostile, shows no interest in school activities or other students, and there's the issue of the disappearing baseballs.
We never do get to the bottom of the baseballs thing, do we?
I hate how funny some of his pranks are.
I like that later when Luke confronts him about the baseball, his little smirk, because he knows it's funny, but like
it's
the audience,
funny.
The audience never gets to know what he's doing with all the baseballs. It's insane. It's
he's
great.
Just annoying them because now they're using tennis balls like idiots. Like that's what it's. So it's just so goofy that it's kind of funny.
It is pretty funny.
You're Denice the Menace, Jess.
Yeah, you're
Denice the Menace. Pick your nose and we're done. Like,
yeah,
it's just.
But we find out. But the minute the principal is like, Jess needs a tutor, I'm like, well, it's gonna be Rory.
You called it.
I don't see like who the hell else are we gonna meet a new character? Like, no, it's gonna be Rory. And then for a split second, I was like, is it gonna be Lane because she's in the same school? So like I could, and like, is that why we had her bothering? That's why we had him bothering Lane in school, because she's going to end up being his tutor and be like, I hate you. And then Rory's going to be like, I wish I was hanging, like when Dean and Lane had that project together. So for a split second, I thought it was going to be Lane, but no, of course it's going to be Rory.
You know what? That would have been fun. That would have been fun.
I know.
Ooh,
I know.
Okay. But yeah, you caught it. It was Rory.
Of course. So Luke comes over to the Shea Gilmore, and he's like, I need to speak with Rory.
Well, because he knows where they are.
I know.
He knows their schedule, and so he knows they're home.
And but it's so creepy to have a grown man walk in and be like, can I talk to your teenage daughter alone in her room? Like, can't he be like, come out, let's talk in the living room? I don't know. Just him being in her room and saying, can I come in, was so weird to me. I didn't like it.
Especially because they extra infantilized her. I hate that word. Because they had him sit on a doll.
Yeah, a dolly, like a baby. Yeah.
Like something that she would, I get that she's sometimes into plushy, whatever. I don't know. There was that thing in the first episode.
No, this was a fully little girl doll. This was a dolly that like a 4-year-old would have. And it's just like in Rory's room. It's so weird.
Yeah. So Luke is coming in with his like, I don't want to be a weirdo in front of your daughter energy. Then you add a doll. You add that Rory does look like she has a baby face, So it's just, we get the picture.
It's so weird. That conversation could have been over the kitchen table or in on the living room couch. Like, why did it have to be in her room?
I guess for me, I see like Luke is such a father figure to her that it's actually not weird. It's only weird because you're still talking to a teenager and you're still don't know how to talk to anybody, let alone a teenager, because you're Luke.
Right.
So they turn him stupid whenever they want him to be stupid.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was, it's fine. And of course it's Luke, so it's fine. But like still, I had, I didn't let a lot of grownups that were not my mom into my room.
Yeah, I feel like we would naturally just step out of our own room.
Yes.
Just be
like, oh, somebody wants to speak with me. I'll meet you I don't know what they're going to see in my room. I don't know what I left out.
You can't have adult energy in my room. I hardly want my own mother in here.
Yeah, exactly. Mom only gets access.
This is where I'm naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want even a family friend who I trust, I don't really want grown-ups in my teenage room. I don't know. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me play with my dollies in peace. So
Well,
weird.
here's the thing. He admits that it's not that Jess doesn't know. Like they both, Rory and Luke, know how smart Jess is. He says it's more like the lack of proximity to the actual classes. So he kind of knows that Rory can't teach Jess anything. He already knows what he knows. And
Exactly.
he says this to Lorelai later. It's not that she needs to be a professor or actually tutor him. It's that I need her energy to be around his energy so that he can see someone who he admires, who he thinks is smart, who doesn't piss him off. That's also like an okay thing to do. Like let that rub off on you.
Yeah.
Now, so what did you think? Because Lorelai was like, how about what he could rub off on her?
Yeah. Same. Yes, I agree with Lorelai. This is a terrible idea. He doesn't need a tutor. He needs a therapist. You know, you can't teach someone who doesn't want to learn anything, who actively like rallies against it. What is Rory going to do that Jess can't do for himself? It's so true. He just doesn't want it, you know?
Yeah,
It's not like
that's true.
you want to be good at math, but you have, you know, you're just not getting it. And so then the tutor comes and gives you extra help on that one subject because you're not wrapping your head around it, but you want to do well in school. He doesn't want to be in school.
But see, the thing is does Luke have a point? If bad influence could be bad influence, can good influence be good influence? Or do we all have the experience of bad influence wins every time?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. That's what they're arguing, right? Lorelai's like, well, what about the bad influence? Well, what about the good influence? Let your kid's good influence rub off on my kid's bad influence.
I mean, that's a risky gambit, you know, like that could go either way. I had a boyfriend in high school who was like, who wanted me to do well in school, you know, and he was a better influence academically, even though having a boyfriend is distracting. He'd be like,
yes, but did he veer you into a better path, or were you already on that path and he joined you?
well,
You know?
yeah. I mean, I think I failed a test on purpose because I didn't want to study. And then I was like, oh, I'll just do really well the rest of the year and it'll all average out. And he was like, that's so
Okay.
stupid. Don't do that. And I was like, okay, I got to go study. I can't just fail the
Oh,
first
wow.
one.
Okay.
Um, but I
So
don't
maybe
know.
it doesn't always win. So then the thing is like Lorelai had a point and Luke had a point, and then there's the point that they're both 17. I don't know if you should throw them together, but I think he's gonna find her because she's right there to be found.
Yeah, and they both know that he has a crush on her. It's like, I'm with Lorelai
But
on
they
this. I think this is a terrible idea.
see they might so they both know he has a crush on her, but Luke is a little bit more like clueless to how much Lorelai can pick up that, yeah, this is the guy that Lorelai would be in. Because guess what? This is Chris.
Yeah.
This is you and Chris. You
Mm-hmm.
were not the good influence either. You and him. You remember earlier in an episode, she said, like, weren't you the guy who like crashed your dad's Porsche? I know because I was right there sitting in the seat next to you. Like this is not just that it's Chris. This is Chris and you. And what's funny is that you don't know how to talk to yourself, even though you expect your own mother, Emily, to know how to talk to you.
Yeah.
So here's your chance. How did you want to be spoken to at your quote unquote rebellious stage where you didn't want to be where you were and you were feeling suffocated? How did you want people to address you? Because it's not this. Because you know how Lorelai behaved this entire episode? Like Emily.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. She's,
Exactly like Emily. And she starts behaving like Emily every time. That kid is not the exact kid that she wants her to be, just like Emily. And I
yeah,
never
but Rory
noticed
is
that.
such a
And the
different,
older I get, the more I notice that.
yeah, but Rory is such a different kid than Lorelai was as a kid. So like Rory's
That's
trajectory is
luck.
already totally different. But yes, she's still Emilying her in this episode and being like, this is not the path. You know, I want to guide
So
you.
yeah, but here is her opportunity to depict what she expected of her parents when she was having a hard time mentally, when she was having a hard time with her environment, when she was having a hard time relating to the people in her school, in her environment, to the adults around her, when she didn't feel understood, when she was just as smart as everybody else. We learned that she was in the top of her class before she dropped out because she was having a baby. So you are Jess. That's why you're afraid he's going to impregnate your child, because that's what you did.
That's exactly what you did. Yeah. Yeah. And it happens.
Okay, so you don't trust that Rory is different than you.
And Rory had a coming out. Rory had a coming out party, and Lorelai didn't. So she's already made it past where Lorelai was.
Yeah, there it is. You're Emily. Everything that you're doing is Emily, and I'm sorry that I never saw it. I had to.
We become our parents. We just become our parents. It's the nature of things. It's terrible.
Yeah, and you don't even have the finances to back it. You got to ask your Emily for help. Okay.
Yeah, bad news.
Hoo-ha. Hoo-ha.
So, let's see. Are we back at Luke's going through the movie options?
They're like, this entire episode is them naming movies. It's bananas.
Yes.
And then, so it's always like, oh, here's another scene. We're probably going to hear about more movies. And also Luke confronts Jess.
Right. And he does it in the clumsiest way possible, where he's like, you can't reach someone who doesn't have any desires. He's like, what do you want to do? And he's like, leave me alone. You know, what do you like? You're going to fail. You're not going to go to college. Okay. You know, there's no, you're not doing it right. Whatever it is this is not it, Luke, to like get through to like a teenager who doesn't want you to help them.
Which again, wasn't that Luke? Like, what path were you on, Luke? When somebody asked you what you wanted to be when you grow up, how did that feel as a person who dresses exactly the same as this teenager? Shouldn't you have a little more insight?
Yeah, exactly.
But no,
and he's like, maybe I'll work. And then the chilling line, maybe I'll work at a diner. Zing.
You obnoxious
Ouch.
little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bringing it home.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which, one, that's a job. Two, that's not his job. He doesn't work in a diner. He owns and runs a diner.
Right. Right, but that's not what he aspired to when he was like a kid, we think. I don't know.
Interesting. Right, because he was playing baseball well, we don't know. We actually don't know.
Yeah.
He took a
Maybe he did want to run a diner his whole life. I don't know. His
Didn't
dad
he tell
ran a hardware
Lorelai
store.
He thought it might be fun,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It suits him to run a small business, to not have a boss, but to not like expand or want more than that, which is a lot, by the way. Who owns a diner successfully? Not many. Very good. So yeah. Yeah. So okay, Lorelai is trying to manipulate something, trying to not give Rory the time to be with Jess. She actually has to be like, hey, we're going to be studying, and we're going to be studying at the diner. But she keeps making it more and more difficult to talk to. Lorelai keeps making it more and more difficult for Rory to talk about Jess with her.
Yeah.
Because she keeps making it obvious that it makes her cringy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But she has to leave.
Yeah. She finally leaves, and then tutoring someone who doesn't want to be tutored is agony. I cannot believe that Rory didn't walk out. She didn't walk out because she likes him, obviously. But tutoring someone who could not be bothered to like learn anything is infuriating. I wanted her to just be like, all right, I'm done here. This is so stupid.
I think she did do some of that. So I was like, oh, maybe she's pushing back. He would stop her just enough, like, okay, when she said, okay, now I'm leaving, he would do one thing that he asked her. So he like kind of strings her along by doing the bare minimum. And she's amused. Let's face it, this is fun, like she doesn't get to kind of just goof off. And now this guy is trying to he's wooing her. And
he wants something from her, and she can give him something, but it's her presence he wants, not the tutoring. So he's trying to keep her around, but also not be tutored. It's sort
But
of
that
this,
feels good. He's
of
doing
course.
magic for you. He's like trying to keep you around. He's pretending to study. He knows Clash songs. Like all of this stuff is so much fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's like it's not, yeah, it's just fun. So when they go for ice cream, she wants to go for ice cream, but also ice cream is better on a cone.
Is it really?
Oh,
I don't think
excuse
ice
me?
cream is better on I think it depends on the ice cream. Okay, soft serve, yes, but scoops of ice cream, I want in a
Yes.
cup because it gets
Why?
melty and it drips down your hand. And I don't like melty dripping down the hands. You get the time, the
Get on top
anxiety.
of it.
What's that?
Get on top of the ice cream.
Yeah, the
You can
anxiety of that
control
makes
it.
me crazy. I don't like the anxiety of having to eat ice cream fast enough so it doesn't
Oh,
make a mess. I can't. Life is hard enough. Like, can't we just like
okay.
eat ice cream leisurely? I can't. I can't with the like, oh, I better lick all around it. I better lick all around it. Time is running out. My hand's about to get sticky. If I stop licking this thing, my hand's going to get sticky. And then I'm going to have to use the paper thin, like the tiny, tiny, like postage stamp napkin that they gave me. And it's going to get all like bunch of, gotta keep licking, gotta keep licking. No, put it in a cup. You can get sprinkles. Get a little spoon, one of the sample spoons. No, then we can leisurely
You're
enjoy
right
our
there.
ice cream.
Okay. The cup thing does add to, like, you get stuff like sprinkles and whipped cream and hot fudge and all of that. So that's why you would do it in a cup. But a cone is quite the experience. But I felt anxiety while you were
See?
talking.
That's the anxiety. I
I'm like,
can't. You get one drip on your hand and I want to just blow up the whole thing. Just be like, just throwing it in the garbage. It's going to drip on my hand. Oh, here, let me give you some money so I can make a mess on myself.
it's also they also have to give you the ice cream before you pay because you have to start licking right away.
Yeah.
It's true.
Soft serve is different. Soft serve, you just cram it into your mouth. You're just like, like it's like one bite. And then you're just working on a cone. Also, the cone is never good. You know, like it's so rare that you get like, oh, this cone's really delicious. Usually it's just like cardboard. It's more air than substance. Be like, here, have some cardboard and make a mess on your hands. That'll be $9, please. I can't. I don't like it.
I never thought this is what we'd be arguing.
Yeah. So when Jess is like, the cone is better, like he's like, I want ice cream. She's like, this is a diner. We have ice cream here. He goes, we want cones. And I'm like, no, he's wrong. The cone does not make it better. Ugh. Why did she get in the car? And why did she tell him to drive? I don't understand why she wanted him to drive her car.
Okay, we're gonna get just super quick. You see how like we have controversial points on this show? A lot of people have been responding to it. And no, that's not one. But there has been one recently where people are like, I usually agree with Carrie, but and there were several of them, so much that in an upcoming live stream, we need to have a whole section. It's about you saying that Jess should have his own apartment. Now, but before you start arguing, I'm going to save it because I have people's actual arguments. So I really want you to respond to what they're saying and what your idea was. So, but that's what we do on the live streams. They happen on YouTube. So go
I'm not
to
allowed
YouTube
to
if you're
reply
not
here?
there.
I'm not allowed to defend myself here?
No,
Oh
no. Replying to comments is happening in our streams. We're also coming up on a wrap-up stream, so that'll be fun. And you'll find it on YouTube under Gilmore Friends podcast. Make sure that you're subscribed. So yes, I also thought it was weird that she was like, here, you drive, but they made it okay because she's going to read Othello to him. That's why.
Oh,
so she's going to still be tutoring him. And I do remember like letting the dudes drive.
I guess so. Yeah. Cause you just like,
which as a parent or the car owner, like, I hate that like I was trying so hard to be such a people pleaser that that's the responsibility I gave to someone else over my life and a car.
I don't know. I feel like I often did not let other people drive my car. in college.
Yes, you were a better person than me
'Cause I
in our
was like-
teenage years. I'm
First of
glad
all,
we didn't meet then.
First of all, it was a stick, and not everyone can drive a stick.
Oh,
And
yeah.
secondly, it's my car. I would let my
Yeah.
boyfriend drive it, I guess. He could
That's what
drive
I'm
it.
saying, though. The boyfriends. Why does the boyfriend need to drive?
So that I could relax, take a nap,
Yeah,
hang
I
out.
hate driving. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was just being like, hey, it'll
But he
make
also,
you feel better.
the boyfriend didn't think I was a great driver. So to get around this, I had to
Oh.
first teach him how to drive a stick and then let him drive my car.
Oh my God.
And I was like, it's fine.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
Also, we find out that Kirk has made a movie.
Oh God.
And that he wants it screened
it.
before movie night. And because Lorelai is now in charge of movie night, he has to say, can you screen my film? And in my head, I was like, oh, this is going to be bonkers, whatever they decide to do. And it was, but we'll get there. But yes, we find that out before the ice cream debacle. So now they're driving around. And
they're having like actually a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Now, it's a little too, exact for us, but like it makes sense. But do you notice that he's like, so she goes, what do you want to be? Because like you're not paying attention in school. Why don't you want to go to college? And he's like, that's just not my path. I'm gonna be where I am and go where I go and whatever. And like that makes sense. And when she tells him what she wants to do, first of all, she goes to him, well, you could do better. You could do so much. You're so smart. There's more in you than you ever know. Like he even says, like, oh, here come the pom-poms. She's very, raising him up. She tells him what she wants to do. She wants to be a reporter. And he goes, you're too weak for that.
Yeah.
Was he negging her?
He's negging her. Yes. Yes. In the most
Did that
obnoxious
not drive you
way.
a little? Yeah.
I'd be like, drop me off at home. I don't know. Like, why are you negging me? I'm fucking 17.
It sucked.
Yep.
And he even made her for a second. And this is how much like, people can actually have an influence on you. He made her think for a second, oh my God, can I?
Yeah.
And that was her first ever, I think, in life, from the town, from her mother, from her grandparents, ever. Hey, can you?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, of course, you're Rory.
Yeah. This is the first time anyone has ever doubted her to her face.
Yeah. Except for Chilton. Chilton pushed that on her as well.
Yes. But at least Chilton, it's rising to the challenge of Chilton. This is just some guy. You know what I mean? Who's like, oh yeah, you're too innocent for that. I don't see that for you. Ew. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you agree with him?
No. She can do whatever she wants.
Okay. Yeah. And also, like, what do you know? Like, what do you know about rising to any occasion? Rising to any...
Right. I would have answered, well, Dean thinks I can do it.
Oh.
Dean thinks I can be whatever I want. And Dean thinks that I'm smart enough to like make choices that lead me down the path to choose the best life for myself. Sorry, you're not as, in tune with me as Dean is. Perfect time to remind him that she's not available.
But instead, he says, we go straight, we go to Luke's, we turn right, we just drive around. And she says, turn right.
And then we see a shot of the car missing the diner. That's the choice. Ain't it always?
And he says, as you wish.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. He gives a Princess Bride reference.
And also, like, that is the pursuit. You say things like, as you wish. Like, he's acting like he is completely enamored by her. Whether he is or isn't, it's got to feel good for Rory, who's attracted to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Oh my God. Next, Lorelai picks up the phone. Did we go right to Lorelai picking up the phone? I think that's it. And we see Rory calling from an unknown location. And I said, police station. I was sure they got arrested or drove somewhere.
Right.
I wasn't that far off, but I was positive Rory was calling mom from a police station because Jess got arrested in some form or
Fair
fashion.
enough,
I
right?
was
Yeah.
incorrect. We pan out. We hear Rory saying, "Don't freak out. I'm okay." But we had an accident and I'm in the ER.
But before the ER, I just want to so she's organizing the takeout menu drawer. Did
Oh,
you have
yeah.
a takeout menu drawer? I did.
Oh, when growing up yeah. Oh, yeah. We totally did.
Like in early 20s, I had one, and her saying that she's finally, deciphering between the Chinese foods. Like, I remember finally putting a star on the one, like, oh, was it this one? And then also putting smiley faces on the actual dishes from there. This is seamless. This is Grubhub.
This is
This
how we did
is
it. Yes, this is exactly how we did it. And because they'd send a new one with every order, and it was always the same
yes.
one. And then one day the prices were slightly higher. So you had to get rid of the old one and be like, okay, it was $4.95 and now it's $5.50 or whatever. So that's how you could tell that was the more recent menu. And then the whole system falls apart because you got to put stickers on the new one. Ugh.
Yep. So yeah. So did anything really happen to Rory? No, but it is scary to get a call from someone you love in a hospital. And it is scary to, even if it's like a little bump, a car accident is very, very scary.
I mean, the
It's
word accident is terrifying, even if
yeah.
everyone's
Yeah.
fine. If everyone walks away and it was just a thing that happened, it's still scary.
Yeah, even near accidents, I've had to pull over and go, that was too close. I had to react very quick, and now my body is trying to catch up with that decision.
Yes.
So I just had to hold on a second because that was close.
Exactly.
So yeah, accidents are terrifying. And I think Lorelai is behaving like mothers, parents are either depicted or actually behave that my mother did. She would go in where's my kid? I
Yeah.
don't even know why I'm still talking
And
to you.
the front desk nurse was like 1 minute, and then it turns out you didn't need a minute. The information is at your fingertips, and this is a worried mother. I don't know. That was really weird to me that she was trying to make her wait for no reason. But
yeah, because when it's underage, you got to get the parent and the guardian straight to them. She said, hey, do you remember in terms of endearment that scene where Shirley MacLaine is in the hospital and freaks out because they won't give her daughter a shot? She got that from me and she toned it down a little. So once again, I'm looking for my daughter, Rory Gilmore.
Yeah. Have you seen Terms of Endearment? That's a great scene.
I didn't, but I watched this scene because of this.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure that we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be worse. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, she just freaks out. I mean, my mom did that. My mom did the Shirley MacLaine freak out when I had my tonsils out and I was almost out of painkillers. And my mom had to call to get the painkillers refilled. And they were giving her the runaround. And finally she freaked out on the phone. And they were like, yes, ma'am. And I was like, oh my God, you just did the Shirley MacLaine thing. She was like, I did. And I was like, uh-huh.
I think
But
people who are,
I don't know, when your kid's
in charge
involved,
of people. Yes.
You're not messing around when it's your kid.
Also, when it's your partner, that can happen too. Hey, give her the thing that she needs.
Make the pain
right now.
go away. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we see Lorelai irrationally demands more x-rays for no reason.
As if you can.
And the doctor agrees to this. I don't know what kind of insurance people had in the early 2000s, but
seriously,
could you needlessly expose her to radiation to make sure that her entire body it's just weird.
Excuse me. I happen to know you can take more x-rays even though I don't know which ones you already took. So go do that.
Go do that. And the doctor's like, you got it, ma'am. All right.
Yeah.
But she's wrapping her hand. And it's her non-dominant hand. It's her left hand. Right. And Rory is right-handed. So it's not going to affect her schooling as much as it would if it was your dominant hand. It still sucks.
That's actually a big deal. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's not even a break. It's a hairline fracture. And still. It's all right. You get to, you had the heart moving and I get it. Just she's reacting okay to her. Doesn't matter about the car. But, now she knows Jess Jess drove, and the look on her face. Did you
Yeah,
see the look on
she
her
gets
face?
big mad. And I don't know how many takes they did, but they
Oh.
got the right one because she walks out of that hospital room and you see her face go from relief that her kid is
Mm-hmm.
fine, effectively. Her kid is okay. And she goes from relief to rage.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets big mad and she storms out of there to
And
find
I think we should take sides. I know what side I'm on. Luke or Lorelai.
Lorelai.
What? For this fight against Luke? I
Well,
am on Luke's side. Is there 110%? Because I am so on Luke's side. You are so rude, Lorelai. You come in here with drips and drabs of an accident that includes a person that he is also in charge with and a person who is he considered like sort of like a father figure to, and you're just an accident. Who? What? Is everybody okay? No, Rory's in the hospital. Like, why are you giving information like this? Why does it have to be in that manner? I think Lorelai is so rude and wrong here. I think she comes in with drips and drabs of information, which is so manipulatively it makes Luke experience this in the worst way, that you
well,
can tell someone that somebody that he's in charge of has gotten into an accident, but you're only saying accident, but you already know that he's okay. You already know that Rory's okay, but you're making sure that you tell him in a way that he panics because you're making it bigger. There was an accident. She almost died. He almost killed her. You don't need to do that. That
well,
is one of your closest friends.
yeah, but she's in a blinding rage. That's her
That's
kid.
her problem. That's
Yeah,
her problem.
but
She's
that
wrong.
explains her. She's not wrong for being mad. Are you like I don't think
Yeah,
she's
she's wrong
wrong
for
for
being mad.
I
Why
don't
is
think
she
she's
throwing it at Luke?
because he's there. You know, like she's
That's what
mad at the
Emily
world.
does. That's what Emily
Well,
does. She throws
but
it at the
also
person that she
but
knows she can throw it at.
between friends, she knows that he can take it, but also she feels that he's responsible. He was the one who pushed them to hang out alone
So there
together.
was just an accident, and the way you're telling him that Jess got into an accident is in this blind rage, you're wrong.
You would rather
It,
her I mean, I think it would be great if everyone could always be calm and she could come to him and say, "Luke, a thing happened. There was an accident. Jess is okay. Rory is okay, but she's in the
Oh,
ER." But
I'm not saying I haven't been in a blind rage. I'm saying that whatever anyone does in a blind rage, you're probably going to have to apologize for.
yeah, they're going to talk it out later. They're definitely going to talk it out later.
You know what
And
that
like
means? That means she's wrong right now.
it means she's hot right now. Like she's heated in anger. It doesn't mean she's wrong for being mad or upset.
That is
I think she's
so
right to
wrong
be
to do.
upset. I think she's right to be upset.
What
And
is
whether or
she
not
upset over?
if she's not directing that anger the way you think is
Why
appropriate,
isn't she this upset over Rory? She has no idea what decisions Rory made. She knew not to be upset at Rory. She knew Rory was
it's
100% an
way
angel in
easier. It's
this.
so much easier to be upset at Luke than it is to be upset at Rory.
Absolutely, and you're wrong. You're wrong for that. And you have some control over yourself. And if not, you're still wrong. Okay, so she's making a mistake. I get it. She's allowed to make mistakes. They will likely patch it up. He can take it, but like you're putting the man in a bigger panic and it's not his fault. This could have been your kid's fault and 0% of you thinks that.
Right.
She said, "Why don't you drive?" And an accident happens when things happen not the way that you wanted things to
Right. But he
happen.
said, "Can you take the wheel real quick?" Which is not the way to drive a car. That
That's true.
and Rory is correct that they teach. I mean, I've been on road trips with friends where they need to like take off a sweater and they're like, "Hold the wheel for me."
Of course.
And like,
We're idiots.
we're idiots.
Yes.
You're not supposed to do that, everyone listening.
Yeah. I was wrong.
I was wrong. But I think Lorelai doesn't want to be mad at Rory to get the full story about what happened. And I think Lorelai was already a little bit mad at Luke for
Yeah.
like convincing Rory to babysit frickin' Jess while he doesn't want to study. And so
Hmm.
this came to a head. I mean, wrong. I don't see it in terms of right or wrong. Like she's angry. You know, she's not causing like property damage. She's not like throwing things. She's not abusing him.
What, he didn't hit me, so I'm not in pain by what you're
No,
doing?
I'm saying the wrong thing to do would be if she smacked Luke across the face. She didn't do any of
Is
that.
that the threshold? Is that the line we need to
that
cross?
would be it's like, I don't see this in terms of right or wrong. I think she's pissed. She's big mad, and it's easier for her emotionally to be mad at Luke.
Yeah, to do the wrong thing. Yes, because she's mad.
Okay,
You
you're right.
can't-
Lorelai is wrong.
But but what you're saying is she's doing something that she normally wouldn't do if she wasn't mad, meaning like she would normally do the right thing.
What would the right thing be?
To tell someone else who was with to not throw your anger like that. To say like I'm mad, but he got into he's okay. Rory's okay, but she has a hairline fracture. Now let's talk about how this is not going to happen again because I'm mad at you about this Jess thing. But first you tell him that his kid is okay. What's the matter with you? That's a kid. Your kid is the only one that matters here. Your kid is your kid is the only person that matters here. And I get that that's mom, but can't. I didn't think that we would argue about this, and I don't like that you're.
I
just
gotta
saying,
watch this
okay
scene
now.
again with that in mind. I mean, maybe I gotta watch the scene again, but like, I just felt like Lorelai's.
Here's
mad.
some quotes. That little punk nephew of yours almost killed my kid tonight. Why did you bring him here? Everyone hated him. Everyone knew he was trouble. Never mind what he'd be to her. And he said I had an obligation. He also says, I care about Rory. You know I care about her. I care about her more than I do myself, but at least you know where Rory is, and at least you know that she's okay. Now I have to find Jess, and I have to make sure that he's okay, and if that cuts into your screaming time, it's too damn bad.
Yeah.
He's saying what he's doing, and then what does she say to that? Go to hell. He says right back at you.
Yeah,
and then we see the car being towed.
They're both pissed.
Well, then, when she makes a call, I knew you would know exactly who she was calling.
Oh, yeah, she picks up the phone, and you're like, who's she calling? And I was like, well, obviously Chris. First of all, we saw him at the beginning of this episode. And secondly, who does she always call when she's being an idiot?
But you know what's funny is, and I also forgot this as I was saying, yeah, of course you're calling Chris because that's your baba. But also, he's her father. You have to call him.
That's
forgot.
True. Yes, that's
exactly. She is obligated to call him.
Yes,
that's her
right.
father.
Your daughter is in the ER. I am informing you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like whether she liked him or not, she has to call him.
He's also the drug, but also that is the parent. Yes.
Yes.
Please pay
but
child
it's
support.
funny how we forgot that.
Because he's been such a useless parent up till now anyway. I'm not thinking in that way. I'm not like, oh, well, you know.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We finally find Jess, and he's at the lake. I was going to put Lake and Jess together and make Jake out of Lake plus Jess. But Jess is at the lake. Jake is nowhere near this scene. And Luke walks up to him all like, hey, man. And he's like, I made sure she was okay, man. And then we realize they're dressed the same. You pointed that out. They're the color palette. They're identically dressed. And that's pretty much it. Just that Jess feels bad. Is that the point of this scene?
Well, I made sure she was okay. And Luke says, I know you did. And to me, that's like, no one, only Lorelai wasn't concerned that like, hey, did Jess do the right thing? After the accident happens, which accidents happen, she didn't hear Jess did the right thing. Jess made sure she was in the ambulance. He made sure before he talked to the cops. And Luke finally gives a kid a break and said, I know you're not completely out of your mind that you would just leave this girl when you got into an accident like a lot of people expect you to. It's just having a little empathy for the person that he's in charge with, which is what she's doing with Rory.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, and then we have to like figure out that Chris wakes up in their house. Ew.
Yes. So wait, why wasn't Jess at the ER, by the way?
I don't know. Sometimes they only allow one person in the ambulance. I've had that where I'm a grown adult and they will not allow the other grown adult with me. So if the car is being towed and he's not allowed in the ambulance, that makes sense.
I see.
However, he could have called Luke just to tell him, like, hey, Rory's on the way to the hospital. Had Luke tell Lorelai, like, it could have been, but that's
right, because we don't get any of the scene of, like, after the accident and Rory is like, oh my God, we need an ambulance. And Jess is like, I'll tell your mom, or you'll call your mom from the, like, we don't see any of that exchange. Like, we don't know how any of that happened, or if they were trying to, like, make up a story, or if they were kissing. Like, we don't know how the accident happened.
Also, a lot of time had passed because by the time she was on the phone with Lorelai, she had a cast on her. And she was calling from a cell phone, right?
Yeah. Very weird.
So, yeah. So maybe that's why Jess didn't call. He assumed. But that's too much credit.
And
I
the
think
doctor's like, what movie are you going to pick for movie night? Like, we got to, like, tie the two plots together. He's like, gotta watch the Yearling. But yeah, we do see the car, and the car is totaled. Like, it looks bad, bad.
Which sounds really scary. That's really scary.
It sounds like it was really scary. We get home. Lorelai is putting Rory to bed with, like, all of the
I have the list.
Oh, yes. What is the list for the bedside? I love it.
Yes, you have your TV, books, magazines, refreshments, CD player, assorted CDs, Stan Freberg, Ash, Sinead O'Connor, pad and paper in case you want to write the great American novel, and a bell in case she needs to call her mom.
Amazing. And it's just
and not only that, she's sleeping in her room. And I always want to say it's just her hand, but, like, to watch a car being towed, and I don't know, maybe it's kind of nice every once in a while for your parent to dote on you, like,
yeah, of course,
to feel safe after, like, a big crash. And I think it is too much to sleep in a chair, because when your body breaks from the chair, how are you going to help me?
Yeah, exactly. You didn't even take off your jeans to sleep in the chair. Like, put on some pajama bottoms. My God. Get comfortable if you're going to sleep in the chair. But
with empathy for a parent, I'm like, I can't even think jeans. I just need to, like, be around my kid.
Yeah.
And just be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's nice. But then Lorelai wakes up in the middle of the night, and Chris is in the room, also asleep.
And she's happy about that.
She's like,
she's
oh,
happy
hey.
that he broke into their house.
Yes. Oh, hey.
Like, yeah. Oh, hey.
Yeah. I wrote, Chris shows up in the dark. What? And Lorelai is so happy. She hugs him. Oh, I'm so glad you came. Are you serious?
It means he described calling and asking around, and then getting the key from her frog or whatever, looking around the house to see where they are. Then that means he went into your room. What kind of walking into my house? That's your energy here?
Nope.
And then sleeping next to me? Who are you?
It's terrifying. I don't like that at all.
And she's like, oh, I like superhero you.
Yeah. No.
That's what it takes for Chris to be a superhero. You know why? Because for him to be awesome, he has a job. Once he's like, oh my God, you're so awesome. You have a job and a reliable car. Oh, now you're actually showing up. You're a superhero, not a dad. Not a dad.
Right. Not regular parenting, but also you snuck into my house and, I don't know, slept next to. If you did that, I like you. We're not even divorced parents. If you snuck into my house and fell asleep next to me, I would be really freaked out. I would be horrified.
Right.
I'd be like, what are you doing? And you'd be like, well, I went to the house and I didn't see the door. So I took the key out of the little turtle, and then I came in and I started sleeping next to you. And I'd be like, that's amazing. I don't know. No, I don't want that.
Instead, they're best
friends. From my lover.
Right. It's crazy. He's a superhero. Okay. But we get to see a film by Kirk.
We get to see the film by Kirk, which is really where both plots were heading. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Kirk made an incredible movie. Needs a spinoff. Needs a series. Needs to be feature length. Needs a budget.
Hey, here's the thing. Do you notice when he goes into his dance, they pan out And I'm like, did they get a stunt? And I looked it up, and it doesn't say anything about it's not Kirk dancing, but they panned out for those moves that Miss Patty choreographed. She decided she needed to tell everyone. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with not only the movie, the set design, the lighting design is amazing, the choice to make it black and white, of course, and just the insane, like, German, like, film noir plot is great.
Mhm.
You have returned home with my favorite daughter. Like, someone has remade this movie, yes?
I think so. I think it became like TikTok popular for a second.
Oh, it
I
better.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Kirk's
but
movie, A plus, no notes. I just want more of it.
and you notice how Chris does not fit in, like, because Suki's saying how Jackson is dancing with the Clementines or whatever, and the persimmons, and he thinks all this stuff is kooky, which it is, which anybody would think so, but I don't think he fits. And they are just like, oh my God, he's here.
Yeah.
He's watching a movie with us.
Yeah.
Christopher,
Oh, so
you are
stupid.
God.
Again, the
You are the
bare
new
minimum. The
Jesus.
bare minimum. It's so embarrassing for all of these people. But the reason we had to have Miss Patty and neighbor lady, what's her name? Was
Oh my
because we
God.
find out that Jess got the boot. That's the end of the episode. The cliffhanger for the next episode is that Jess got on a bus and he went back to his mommy, Luke's sister. Did he really? Is this the last we're seeing of Jess? I happen to know it is not.
No, but your spoiler, if I may, with the spoiler, okay? And if you don't want to hear a spoiler, just fast forward 1 minute. I just want to quickly say when they say things like, and I'm giving people time to pause their thing, but when they say things like team so and so and team so and so, that doesn't mean that they had to date. It means who you wanted to see her with. So there's like teams that aren't necessarily made, just wanted.
Oh, so you're unspoiling my spoiler?
I don't I'm allowing for
All right. Well,
the
I
the
personally
possibility.
don't think we've seen the last of Jess. I think
Okay.
I gotta have more Jess Bell. So you already gave me the trivia on the Kirk dancing. Is there more trivia?
Not on Kirk dancing, but I did watch the Terms of Endearment Shirley MacLaine thing.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, she's really just it's 10 o'clock, and her daughter they told her daughter that she had to wait until 10 to get more pain meds. And so she ends up just screaming, "It's 10 o'clock! You said 10 o'clock!" And she's like walking around the nurse's station yelling, "It's 10 o'clock!" And they go give her the meds. Just for
Yeah.
those who don't know, that is the
And it's
reference.
and she in the movie a little more context. In the movie she's very uptight. She's an Emily. Actually,
Mm.
she's in that movie she's a very dignified woman. So for her to
Mm.
lose it like this in this scene is is insight into her character. Like that's how bad it is.
I see.
That's how much
Okay.
she loves her daughter because this very dignified woman is losing her shit at the nurses.
Cool, cool. Okay. I like to know the references, but I kind of want to watch Terms of Endearment.
Yeah, you should
So
watch
let's see
it.
if I actually do that. Okay. The other thing is the movie in the show. Kirk's girlfriend in his movie is played by Mary Lynn Rajskub, if I'm saying that correctly. She's been in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Scooby-Doo, Two Broke Girls, New Girl, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Marin. She's been on like the list goes on and on, but it's like 1 episode, 3 episodes, 2 episodes. But there was one where she's in 125 episodes of a show starring Kiefer Sutherland. Can you guess the show is a number?
24?
Yes, correct.
Oh. Okay,
I've
I
never
didn't
seen
watch
it.
I didn't get into 24.
Me neither.
I know the
But
premise. I know it's very intense. It's like eating an ice cream cone. That kind of tension of like something bad's going to happen. Yeah, she's great. I definitely recognized her like as somebody. I'm like, who is that again? Like
hmm.
I know her from
Isn't it
somewhere.
funny that people could now be like so many versions of famous?
Yeah, I know.
like to someone else, they would be freaking out. And to us, it's someone else. It's very interesting. Okay.
I know.
So you notice that Milo, who is Jess, he did magic.
Yes.
So what I learned is he learned the magic for Gilmore Girls.
I love it.
Yeah. The writers wanted him to show a dorky side, like people think, magic is kind of geeky. So they wanted him to show vulnerability by showing her like this geeky side of him. So he
and
learned
she just takes his deck of cards and chucks them on the floor. That kind of annoyed me. I was like, someone's gonna have to pick that up.
Yeah, me too. Like you can't fake being mad.
Like it's more distracting having the deck of cards on the floor all splayed out for me. Like I wouldn't be able to study with a deck of cards on the floor like that. But okay, that's just.
And who picked it up, him or her?
I don't know. They don't show us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, just I read that Milo, Jess again. He read every book his character was depicted reading. So if he was reading in the scene, he read that book.
He read Slaughterhouse-Five. It's a great book. I've read it several times.
Yeah? Oh, several times.
It's really good. It's not a long read. Like you could read it pretty quickly. But it's incredible. It was like it's one of my favorite books.
Whoa, strong recommendation.
Yeah,
it
got me into Vonnegut. And I mean into Vonnegut. I don't know what that means. It's just it's a good book.
Okay, everyone remember that because I want to read it and I don't have utensils to write it down. Okay. So what predictions do you have?
Well,
because you already predicted that Jess is going to come back.
I predict Jess comes back. We have not seen the last of Jess. I think when Dean gets back into town, there's going to be hell to pay when another man messed up his car that he gave his woman. And when he finds out the story that Rory not only let someone else drive the car, that person was Jess and that person smashed up the car, it's going to be bad.
Oh, yeah. And we didn't talk about how Rory told her mother to lie and say that I'm with Lane, not Jess.
Oh, yeah.
That was icky.
That was really icky. But I think when I think they're going to break up over this. I don't think their relationship is going to survive him getting the car smashed up. Told you that car was going to be important. You don't give a lady a car and not have it come back to bite you in the ass somehow.
You did say that.
This episode didn't have any of the other Gilmore family. We didn't see Emily and Richard. And we didn't have any of the children.
Suki.
Suki was there very briefly. Quick line. To just explain where Jackson is.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, we didn't have any Suki. There was not a lot of this was, and I love the Jess Rory because we didn't have any Jess last episode. So we got our Jess episode. But yeah, I still think we need to catch up with what's going on at Chilton, the Paris posse, the Mean Girls, and also we're still planning a wedding, right? We're still going to Suki's wedding. That's true. I'm saying it again that I think Suki's wedding is going to be the season finale because we like to go out on a blowout. I think Chris is single again and not telling Lorelai because he doesn't want to be with her either. But I think Chris is going to be sniffing around a lot more often. I think that's it. I think Lorelai and Luke have to make up, obviously. That's it for predictions. I think that I think they break up. And then Lorelai and Luke need to make up. And then we need to find out if Richard got a hobby that made more sense for Emily, that Emily approves of his hobbies.
Well, he's starting to consult, right? He might be teaching. So let's see where it goes. Yeah.
But we'll see if she approves of that. She wants him to play golf, to get out of the house all day, 24/7. It's great.
Well, this is episode 19. So when you say the series finale, like Carrie just gave us predictions on the actual season finale, which is only like a couple episodes away. So thanks for listening. Subscribe to this. I think 50 to 60% of you are subscribed. Hey, 40%, come over here and join us. Thank you for being a Gilmore friend. Good night.
Good night. Bye.